Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all again. So as of, what was it, Monday, the order for school has been extended through May 1st. So we are going to be continuing this path after spring break lets up. And as far as I know, spring break is actually going to run through April 13th. So I believe we'll be resuming classes on April 14th. If that changes, I will let you know. All right. Today I've got Maggie with me. She's special. She really loves tennis balls. We don't really get it, but say love you. I got my North Carolina mug today. And so let's get into it. We're in the very last act of this play. And it's going to be a battle. So remember, we've got Brutus and Cassius on one side, Antony and the Triumvirate on the other side. And so we are going to be seeing that kind of play out. So just kind of follow along with me here. As always, I have made note of where the answers are just to help you guys out. And then I also have we're going to do scenes 1 and 2. You'll see why I included scene 2 because, well, you might find it funny, so I'll just wait. All right. As always, I'm going to set my timer on my watch for 20 minutes. We're going to do 20 minutes of work today. So just kind of make sure you're keeping up with that. Don't let yourself get behind, because one of the easiest things to do is put it off till later. And then you're like, oh, I'll just get to it later. Well, later eventually becomes now. So if you have any questions at all, never hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you if you need it. And yeah. I think that's all I wanted to cover. So let's hop into it. All right. So, come on. All right. Okay, so Act 5, enter Antony, Octavius, and their armies. Okay, so this next scene that we're going to read, if you ever have played a sport and they're getting ready to do like the coin toss or the captain's meet out on the field, it feels a lot like this. These two are very much like kind of ready and raring to go, and they're going to be insulting each other kind of back and forth, back and forth. And so you'll see one of them calls them basically what was it, a stingerless honeybee. All right, so scene 1, enter Octavius, Antony, and their armies. Octavius says, now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering them before we do demand them. Antony, tut, I am in their bosoms. He's like, I'm in their hearts. I know what they're doing, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten our thoughts that they have courage, but it is not so. A messenger enters. The messenger says, prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on gallant show. The bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something is to be done immediately. Octavius, lead your battle softly upon the left-hand side of the even field. Octavius says, upon the right, keep thou the left. Why do you cross me? I do not cross you, but I will do so. All right, this is meant to kind of echo a fight that happens in the previous one. So if you watched my video from yesterday, you'll know that two of the characters were kind of back and forth, kind of fighting with each other. And so that is meant to replicate here. All right, enter Brutus and Cassius with their armies, including Lucilius, Titinius, and Messala. So these are like their servants. Brutus says they stand and would have parley. Cassius says, stand fast, Titinius, and we must out and talk. Octavius says, Mark Antony, shall we give the sign of battle? All right, so they're getting ready to kind of meet and talk crap, talk some ish. And Antony says, no, Caesar, we will answer on their charge. Make forth, the generals should have some words, okay? Octavius to his officers, do not stir until the signal. And the generals step forward. And Brutus says, words before blows. Is it so, countrymen? So he's like, are you ready to talk before we start fighting? And Brutus says, Octavius says, not that we love words better as you do. Brutus says, good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius. So he's like, good words, good verbal lashings are better than like bad sword swings. Antony, in your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you've made in Caesar's heart, crying, long live Hail Caesar. So Antony brings up the assassination again. Cassius says, Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown, but for your words, they rob the hybrid bees and leave them honeyless. And Antony goes, and stingless too. So he's like, you're basically bee with no stinger. Brutus says, oh yes, and soundless too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting. Antony says, villains, you did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, while damned Casca, like a cur, like a dog, behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers. He's like, you are false men. All right. So number 2 here. So think about it this way: sometimes when you meet on the field, you want to kind of hype yourself, but you also kind of want to let the team know like you are not to be trifled with. So make sure you've answered number 2 here. All right. Cassius says, flatterers. Now Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended, so today Cassius might have ruled. Come, the cause. If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn the red or drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. He draws. When think you will that swords go up? Never till Caesar's 33 wounds, so they stabbed him 33 times, will be well avenged, or till another Caesar have slaughtered to the sword of traitors. He's like, I'm never going to give this up until I've given revenge for the 33 times you killed Julius Caesar, or you are killed. And Brutus says, Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands unless they brinks them to me. And Octavius, so I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus's sword. And Brutus says, oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable. He's like, you would be lucky to die on my sword. Cassius says, a peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler. Antony, oh, Cassius still, old Cassius still. Come, Antony, away. All right, so number 2 has been answered. We're going to answer number 3 and 4 here. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If we dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have the stomachs, okay? So they're definitely just kind of like, I'm ready to fight when you're ready to fight, but only if you've got the stomach to fight. All right, Octavius, Antony, and their armies leave. Cassius says, why now blow wind, swell billow, and swim bark? The storm is up, and all of it is on hazard. He's like, the storm has arrived. We need to be prepared for it. And Brutus says, ho, Silius, hark, a word with you. And Lucilius says, my lord. So remember, these are Brutus's servants, and Cassius says Messala, and Messala is Cassius's servant. Cassius says, Messala, this is my birthday, as this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Messala, be thou witness that against my will, as Pompey was, am I compelled to set upon our battle of our liberties. You know well that I held Epicurus strong, and his... Maggie, stop, come on. Okay. Now I will change my mind and partly credit things to presage. Coming from Sardis on our own former ensigns, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding upon the soldiers' hands, who to Philippi were consorted us. Their morning they fled away and are gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, kites fly overhead, and downward look upon us, as we were sickly prey. Their shadows seem a canopy most fatal, under which our army lies, ready to give up the ghost. So there's a few things here that he says that are a little concerning. So it does answer number 3. So this whole battle is going to take place on Cassius's birthday. And number 4, think of things that typically mean bad things. Okay, so he's like, well, we had eagles, which usually represent valor and honor. The eagles were replaced by ravens, crows, so 2 black birds, and kites, which I'm not familiar with. All right, and black usually means death. So that should help you answer number 4. And Messala says, and then he says, give up the ghost. There was a song out not too long ago where she uses the line, give up the ghost. A lot of you don't realize that Shakespeare created a lot of our language. And so if you are not familiar with, I think he created over 1,200 words that we use in the English language. All right, Messala says, believe not so. Cassius, I but believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils constantly. He's like, I am ready to battle. And Brutus says, even so, Lucilius. Brutus turns to Cassius. Now most notable, and Cassius says, now most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still certain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak? What then are you determined to do? And Brutus says, even by the rule of that philosophy, by which I did blame Cato for the death, which he did give himself, I know not how, but I find it cowardly and vile, for fear that I might fall. Okay, so they're talking about how they think they might die today. Okay, Cassius says, then if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome. And Brutus is like, no, Cassius, no. Think not thou, noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He's like, I will not die a prisoner of Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this great day we must work that the Ides of March begun. He's like, we need to end what we started. And whether we shall meet again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why we shall smile. If not, why this parting was well made. He's like, so if this is the last time I see you, it is what it is. Cassius says, forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true this parting was well made. And Brutus says, why then lead on? Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and that the end is known. Come, ho, away. Okay, so they're getting ready to finish this. I do not believe there is a question for section 2, but this right here, this section, all right here, that's it. It's a really quick side scene. It's Brutus who needs to get something to Cassius. So he says, Alarum, enter Brutus and Messala, ride, Messala. So Messala is Cassius's servant. And Brutus says, ride, Messala, give these bills unto the legions on the other side. So he's like, I need to get this to Cassius. And he hands Messala papers, loud alarum. Let them be said at once, for I perceive that but a cold demeanor in Octavius's wing, and a sudden push gives them the overthrow. He's like, I'm worried Cassius is going to lose. Ride, Messala, let them come down. All right. So they're losing this battle. And that's all that this scene shows us here. All right. So that's actually going to finish us up for today. We're going to come back to this on tomorrow and we'll finish the play. And then Friday and Saturday will be yours to finish the questions. All right. So let me know if you need anything. I'd be happy to help. Have a great day. Bye-bye.